Hello, friends. Happy Monday. It's Today in 30 time on Today All Day. Hope you had a great weekend.
And we love that you're starting your Monday with us. It's another big week here in Studio 1A, and here's what's coming up. First, we're going to start with the challenges already being seen from coast to coast as the first booster shots are rolled out.
And then here in New York, a major new mandate taking effect today. It could put thousands of healthcare workers who are refusing vaccination out of a job. So we're going to bring you the latest on that.
And then we're sitting down with the head of Instagram to get his take on the alarming report that was just released on the app's impact on the mental health of young people. You do not want to miss this exclusive interview.
And then Keanu Reeves is here. You know him as a Hollywood legend, but did you know he is also a comic book author? He is, and he's here to talk to us about his latest project.
And we are taking you on a field trip to the cafe that will fill your cup and your soul with kindness. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
It's time for
Today in 30. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez joins us now from Kentucky, which has one of the highest COVID hospitalization rates in the country right now. Hi, Gabe. Good morning.
Savannah, good morning. This hospital has set up a tent outside in the parking lot to administer monoclonal antibody treatments because there's just no room inside. Even as new COVID cases drop in many parts of the country, now another hurdle, a complicated booster shot rollout.
This morning, for millions of Americans, the rush is on to get a COVID booster shot. But in cities like San Antonio, a rough rollout.
We were here about 3 hours, but it was well worth it.
We didn't expect the response that we're seeing today.
Last week, a CDC advisory panel approved the third Pfizer shots for people 65 and older and some with underlying medical conditions. But in a rare move, the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, went even further, opening up boosters to frontline workers.
It's really for people who are working all the time with many different people who might be unvaccinated.
Some states are now cautious. In Vermont, a very limited rollout, pending more clarity from the CDC.
Those 80 and above can register to get their booster shot.
Another challenge, making sure that Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccine recipients know that they're not yet eligible for boosters.
It does appear that while it may be safe, not clear that you get added benefit from mixing and matching.
Other places are also struggling with COVID vaccine mandates. A federal judge is temporarily blocking one for New York City teachers that was set to take effect today. Parents are divided.
Should be mandated, yes.
I feel like if the teachers don't want the vaccines, that's okay, as long as they're safe about it, put the mask on.
A similar requirement starts today for New York healthcare workers, prompting concerns over staffing shortages. The governor is preparing to call in the National Guard if they don't show up for work. Around the country, new COVID cases are down, but in many places with lower vaccination rates, hospitalizations are still high. There's also a shortage of monoclonal antibody treatments, leading the federal government to limit the supply.
On a national level, it's been devastating. People that we would normally be able to treat, if this was last week or last month, we're having to tell them no. No physician and no healthcare provider wants to have to do this.
We're back with In Depth today. This morning, an issue that has a lot of parents talking.
Yeah, Facebook is hitting back at allegations detailed in a Wall Street Journal report that it had internal research documents showing its popular Instagram app may be harmful to the mental health of teen girls.
A top Facebook executive is set to testify about all of it on Capitol Hill this week. But this morning, we're talking with the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, to get his take. But first, a look at what the tech giant is saying about those allegations.
This morning, Facebook looking to set the record straight. The tech giant posting what it calls a point-by-point rebuttal to a recent Wall Street Journal report that said the company knew its Instagram app was toxic for teenage girls, calling that idea and the suggestion that they're hiding research simply not accurate. The Journal article posted nearly 2 weeks ago detailed leaked internal studies, including one 2019 slide that read, "We make body issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls." Facebook sharing the slide, saying that statistic was based on girls who already experienced body image issues, not all teen girls, adding on problems such as eating issues, loneliness, anxiety, and sadness. Teenage girls who said they experienced these challenges were more likely to say that Instagram made these issues better versus worse. The one exception was body image. Overnight, the Wall Street Journal saying it stands behind its reporting, writing, "None of the company's defenses have cited a single factual error, and in keeping with our standards, we gave Facebook ample time and space to comment before publication." The social media company has come under intense scrutiny since the Journal's piece was posted. Lawmakers demanding answers, holding a Senate hearing later this week with one of Facebook's top executives set to testify. The head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, weighing in right after the article was posted.
I don't think of this article as airing our dirty laundry or anything like that. I'm proud of the fact that we're doing this work.
Mosseri has previously pushed for change to make the platform a safer space for users, especially teens, telling Savannah last year.
Do you feel like Instagram is a safer platform than, say, a Facebook or Twitter?
I think it has a more positive charge. We want to be the place that's supportive. That's not to say that negative things don't happen on Instagram. They absolutely do.
Adam Mosseri is the head of Instagram. He's with us exclusively this Monday morning. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So before we dig into this announcement, would we even be having this conversation had it not been for the Wall Street Journal article and the intense pressure you guys have been under over the last few weeks?
I think it's impossible to say, but I do think that we have been working on this idea called Instagram Kids, at least outside in the world. The idea being a version of Instagram that's designed for tweens, and it's had a lot of attention. And so I think it's very possible we would be speaking. But today, we want to talk about how we're going to put the work on pause. I still firmly believe that it's a good thing to build a version of Instagram that's designed to be safe for tweens. But we want to take the time to talk to parents and researchers and safety experts and get to more consensus about how to move forward.
So Instagram for Kids is scrapped for the time being. Is that because we now think it was a bad idea?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I firmly believe it's a good idea. As a father, the most important thing to me is the safety of my children. And I have to believe that a world where there's a version of Instagram that's designed for tweens, one where there's no ads, where there's age-appropriate content, and one where a parent can choose to let their child use it and control things like who they follow and who they message, is better than the alternative.
All right, let's talk about the kids for a second, because according to your own research, as I understand it, roughly a third of teenage girls who said when they felt bad about their bodies, Instagram made them feel worse. How do we fix that?
So I don't believe that's exactly what the research said, but I do want to be very clear that if anybody leaves using Instagram feeling worse about themselves, that's an important issue that we need to take seriously and that we need to figure out how to address. And so we have a number of ideas in the world of body image and negative social comparison. Last week, we announced that we were working on nudges, the idea that if you're going very deep in one topic, we might nudge you to try another topic. And another project that we call Take a Break. The idea being that you could put your Instagram on pause for a period of time if you're in a moment of vulnerability. Maybe you're going through a breakup or you just switched high schools.
So I know the details are being worked out, but this Take a Break idea, how will that work? When will we see that in our feeds?
So the way it would work is that your Instagram, your account, your profile, how you show up would essentially be on pause. So the specific details we're still working through, but the idea is that you wouldn't have to worry about people talking about you, addressing you, commenting on your content while you were on a break. You would basically be able to leave and then come back and pick up exactly where you left off.
So let's talk about the other ideas that your parental controls, I understand, over the next few months. You guys are going to roll out parental controls.
Absolutely. So we've been working on parental controls for a long time, actually as part of our work on Instagram Kids. But in talking to parents all over the world, it's clear that 13 isn't a magic age. Parents of kids of all ages are looking for more ways to supervise and control their kids' experiences online. And so the idea is that we're going to bring these parental controls as an optional feature to teens everywhere. And by the way, these features and even a version of social media for those under 13 are things that our competitors like YouTube and TikTok have already done and launched.
So will parents be able to mirror their kids' accounts? How's that going to...
So we're still working through the details, but the idea would be that they could see what their kids are doing.
Okay.
They could manage how much time their kids spend on the app, and they could possibly approve things like who they can message and who they can follow.
Okay. And again, this is going to be something that's rolled out over the next few months.
Yes, we've been working on it for a long time, but we're a few months away from launching, and we wanted to talk about it today.
I think a lot of folks who are watching and listening would probably wonder, you guys have had this research, you've had this information for some time. Why not do some of this sooner?
So we've actually been working on a lot of this for years now. We do this research to shed light on problems. That's the whole point of the research, is why I'm actually proud that we do that kind of work. That work has inspired lots of interesting product changes. For instance, we announced a couple years ago we wanted to lead on the issue of online bullying.
Yeah.
And the research we did when we asked kids and teens why they didn't block people who were harassing them on Instagram was that they were worried about fear of retribution because they have to see these kids in school. And also, they needed to track what was being said about them. So that inspired the restrict feature, which we launched a few years ago. So over the years, we're constantly doing this research, both internally and externally, and using it to inspire changes to the product.
One of the problems, again, you mentioned 13, of course. That's the age at which you're supposed to be able to get an Instagram account. You and I both know there are kids on Instagram who are under the age of 13. I'm not going to put my cousins on blast, but I've got some family members who are 13 who have Instagram accounts. How do you fix that?
So that is a very difficult challenge. Verifying the age of kids and tweens who are too young to have IDs is difficult. We rely on things like reports and parental forms, but it's not a perfect process, which again is why we think a healthier place to end up is to have a version of Instagram that was designed for tweens that parents have the option to give their kids access to, as opposed to letting kids sometimes sneak in and go rogue. And then eventually the parents or we find them and we take them off, but there's risk there that we want to mitigate.
So age verifications, features are coming.
Yeah, we continue to do a lot of work on age verification. I think we're doing as much, if not more, work than anybody else in the industry, but it is a very difficult challenge.
Okay. Adam Mosseri, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Back now with our series with NBC Sports, Once in a Lifetime.
Well, this morning we're in San Fran, where the Niners are doing great things for young men and women in the Bay Area. And NBC's Aaron McLaughlin is live this morning at Levi's Stadium. Hi, Aaron. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's a partnership that began just as the world was shutting down due to COVID. The 49ers mentoring a group of kids specially selected for their leadership capabilities. We were there for their first in-person event, and as we saw firsthand, it was a big win for everyone involved.
Inside Levi's Stadium, home to the San Francisco 49ers, a very different kind of huddle.
You accomplish your individual goal when the team accomplishes their goal.
Star NFL players, staff, and dozens of specially drafted local kids discovering the power of mentorship. After being kept apart by COVID, they're finally meeting in person.
Zoom is cool, but this is even better, right?
Part of a groundbreaking partnership between an organization called 100 Black Men, working with Bay Area boys and girls, now joining forces with the 49ers. Sharing stories and advice on leadership, networking, health and wellness, and financial literacy.
Football is only for so long, but us touching one of those kids, that lasts a lifetime.
Linebacker Fred Warner and defensive lineman Eric Armstead are some of the biggest names in the game.
We play football on Sundays, but we also have a lot more to give than just playing football.
What you do outside of the stadium is as important as what you do inside.
Absolutely.
More important.
There
more
you go.
important. Why?
What you do inside the stadium obviously gives you the platform, but what you do with that platform is more important. It's more impactful. Even if you're fortunate enough to get your name up here in the stadium, that will go away. But how you impact people and how you help people will remain after you're gone.
That support means the world to 17-year-old Jonathan Martin.
A mentor is somebody who will have your back.
A star student with over a 4.0 GPA. Like so many other kids, he struggled with anxiety and stress throughout the pandemic.
It has definitely been isolating. Just not able to have any interaction has been very tough.
He said connecting with his 49er mentors helped pull him through.
They taught me to keep going, persevere. This is going to end one day. So just having the mentors there to coach me up and tell me that these things will be over with and that you will have a good time has just been a great help.
It's an inspiring partnership born out of one of the most consequential moments in our nation's history, the murder of George Floyd and the reckoning that followed.
We saw a whole world that was really shifted and changed by that moment.
49ers general manager John Lynch was one of those people changed.
We huddled up and we said, what can we do? How can we make an impact to make things better? And I think through a lot of conversation and uncomfortable conversation came, we have to do something.
Did that impact you personally?
Absolutely.
Has this program changed the 49ers?
I know it's changed me. It's changed Fred Warner. It inspires me to want to do better. If I could have seen someone, who looked like me and, was somewhere where I wanted to be, saying as a young person, I want to be an NFL player one day, and for that NFL player to tell me, you can be so much more. Don't just shoot for the stars, just shoot past the stars. That's why I want to do what we're doing. It's really important.
Warner and Armstead also have a message for kids who feel alone and might be struggling.
At times, you may feel like you have no one that cares, no one that understands. I may not know you, we may not ever meet, but I care. I think you deserve every opportunity to be successful and live a great life.
I encourage people to educate themselves. Just be a good person, be a good human being, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter.
I'm here with Fred Warner and Eric Armstead from the 49ers in the Levi's Stadium. They're talking about a brand new program that they're participating in that's making a huge impact in the community. I'll have more on that coming up on Today All Day.
Well, this morning we are catching up with a Hollywood legend who's been entertaining us for decades now. Keanu Reeves raced into stardom way back in the 90s with that thriller Speed.
Since then, he's played Neo in the Matrix movies, a role he'll be bringing back soon. And of course, he's been an assassin out for revenge as John Wick.
Well, now Keanu is adding comic book author to his resume with the release of Berserker. And he's here to tell us all about it. Keanu, it is great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Morning.
Hey.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm a big comic book fan, and this series, the thumbs up, you've been thinking about this since 2017.
Yeah.
What was the impetus to finally get this thing going? Why now? And tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's called Berserker, and I had the idea for a character in the middle of a battle, kind of berserkering. And I met with Boom Studios, the publisher of the comic, and I pitched this idea to them. And they said, we like the idea. Have you ever thought of doing a comic book about it? And I said, no. And they said, would you like to? And I said, yes, please. And then Boom Studios put a team together. We have a great writer, Matt Kent, illustrator Ron Garney, great colorist Bill Crabtree, letterer Clem Robbins. And so we have this kind of super team. And so over the past couple of years, we've been developing it. And the first 4 issues are in an anthology now, which is kind of the origin story of this character who was born 80,000 years ago. And he's half human, half God. It's a comic book. And he's cursed with this impulse to violence. And it's kind of how do people react to him? How does this man who doesn't want to kill but is compelled to, and how is he used, and what is this person's life? And also we have fun with going through all of kind of the different epochs and ages of human history.
So good.
And,
love this.
You know what I think is pretty cool? The fact that Netflix has announced it's turning the comic into a live-action film in an anime series, which you'll be starring in. What was your reaction to that?
I thought that was pretty, I'm really grateful. It's a really extraordinary opportunity. I love the story, and I hope people enjoy it. And, I think it's a story of, that's for our times, but also all times, just who we are, how we are. And so to have the opportunity to kind of tell the story, different versions of the story in anime or live action, I'm really excited about the opportunity.
Keanu, almost 20 years. Hard to believe 20 years have passed since the release of the last Matrix film. The time has finally come for its newest installment, The Matrix Resurrections. Yes. It's been well over a decade since the last movie. So what should we expect from this one?
It's pretty astounding. It's a beautiful film. It's a love story. It's action, and it's full of ideas. It's a Matrix film, and it's Lana Wachowski's the director and visionary and writer, and it was just really something special for me personally. And creatively to be involved, and hopefully people will. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful images and cinema, but food, and it's a Matrix film, so it's kind of confronting who we are and what's going on.
I love it.
And seeking for the best of ourselves.
I know so many are looking forward to that. And you're in the middle of, you're in these 2 wonderful anthologies. You're also in the middle of filming John Wick, the 4th John Wick. And you say that it's really intense, which I find interesting, since the first 3 weren't exactly a light romp.
They're fun.
Yes,
come on.
They're fun. No, they're absolutely fun.
But they're intense. We have we're going for it. There's some really amazing John Wick action and new characters, and it's been really fun to be playing the role again and to be telling this story. There's new characters, and we're opening up the world, and right now we're just shooting this crazy fight scene in the middle of traffic. Oh. So it's just car crashes, gun fights, anyway.
Yeah, like John Wick.
I know, right?
It's John Wick. I love it. We're waiting for John Wick the musical.
Okay.
All right. Keanu, thank you so much. It's so good to see you again. We really appreciate you stopping by. The graphic novel is called Berserker, and it is out October 5th.
Sometimes we don't realize how a small act of kindness can totally change a person's day, and that's exactly what they're serving up at the La La Land Kind Cafe.
The cafe not only serves up smiles, but they're also giving back to their community by employing young adults who have aged out of the foster care system, which in 2019 totaled more than 20,000 kids across the United States.
Okay, so let's take a look at how this cafe is changing lives with every cup.
Let's make the world a kinder place.
Every day this world needs to be kinder.
Excuse me? I just want to say you're beautiful. Yeah!
Spreading kindness is the ultimate goal.
You guys are radiating love and kindness.
Of the TikTok series Drive by Kindness, which has racked up over 44 million likes.
We believe that when we see so many people on a daily basis, that kind atmosphere and the compliments and the sharing of love, once you get enough of it, it will change people.
It all started here at the La La Land Kind Cafe, and for founder Francois Rehani, kindness is key.
We felt like we really are an army that is fighting for kindness, right? This isn't really a game for us. We're serious about what we do, right? We say kindness first, coffee second.
Employees embody that motto as soon as you walk in the door.
We love you!
So if we have a place that serves coffee that demonstrates that changes everyone's day. It changes their week. And then they continue to tell other people, and then it's just a snowball effect of kindness.
22-year-old Sierra Watley knows firsthand how kindness can change your life.
Absolutely love this place. I don't know what I would do without it.
Sierra had almost lost hope before being introduced to La La Land back in 2018.
I ended up losing everything in my life. I lost my kid, I lost my car, I lost my apartment, I was homeless. They're not gonna want to hire me. I was like, they're not gonna want anything to do with me. They're just gonna look at me as another foster kid.
But 3 years later, Sierra is thriving, and she recently welcomed baby Violet with her husband Daryl.
They're still just so opening and welcoming and happy to have me. They truly show that they care, and I never had that in my life.
The cafe supports people who have aged out of the foster care system by offering an 8-week internship program to teach both job and life skills.
These kids who have never done anything wrong in their entire lives, that have been put in the worst position in the world, they're not asking for a second chance. They're asking for a first chance.
Just teach them the basic skills of being held accountable, showing up on time, gaining customer service. A lot of foster youths don't have those tools. They no longer have that support system. So they don't have the resources that a lot of people have, their parents to help them out.
Interns like 26-year-old Amber Payne already feel part of the La La Land family.
I'm just happy to, be at a job that, people understand where you're coming from and, they don't judge you. They try their best to make sure you feel welcomed and comfortable at work.
Have a place like La La Land, I feel like, okay, I'm not alone, and I feel like I can be myself.
And with cafes in Dallas and Los Angeles, they're hoping to showcase the power of positivity each and every day.
If at the end of the day, all we did was serve a cup of coffee, we failed. We're here to change things. And people notice that from the first day. So amazing.
I want people to understand the drastic power of kindness in our daily lives and the amount of people that you touch and see every day. The way that you act and the kindness that you spread can really do a lot.
Oh, you're going to want to tune in tomorrow on Today. Trisha Yearwood, she's going to be here cooking some easy comfort food for us.
Multi-talented Trisha Yearwood. We're going to keep things country. Don't want to miss Jenna's interview with Alan Jackson. See you tomorrow bright and early for Tuesday.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.